WI vs AUS First T20I Live West Indies vs Australia Cricket Match today July 21, 2025. Get ready for an electrifying clash. The first T20I between West Indies and Australia is just around the corner, and fans are buzzing with anticipation. Here's your comprehensive guide to catch all the action live. Updated on July 20, 2025, 10:43 p.m. IST. Dive into the excitement as the West Indies and Australia gear up for their first T20I encounter. This is the moment cricket enthusiasts have been waiting for, and we've got all the details you need to stay tuned. The eagerly awaited 5-match T20I series kicks off on Monday, July 21, marking a significant milestone for Windies all-rounder Andre Russell, who will be playing his final international games in his hometown, Jamaica. After a disappointing 0-3 defeat in the Test series, the West Indies are determined to bounce back and put up a fierce fight against the Aussies. Interestingly, Australia has decided to rest key players Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc, and Josh Hazlewood for. Mitch Owen joins Ponting and Warner Tribe with 6 sixes on T20 debut. A star is born, and his name is Mitch Owen. If you thought T20 debuts were typically quiet affairs, think again. Owen burst onto the international cricket arena with a performance that will be talked about for years, planting himself among the elite company of Australia's cricket heroes. But here's where it gets controversial: should a debutant really seize the game so emphatically, or is that pressure too much too soon? Let's break down the exhilarating details, and the burning debates it sparks. Under the bright lights of Sabina Park, Owen carried the confidence of a Big Bash sensation into his first international foray, teaming up with the explosive Cameron Green. Together, the Tasmanian powerhouse and the all-rounder from Perth dismantled the West Indies in the first T20, sending a clear message that the next generation of Australian cricket has arrived, and they're not here to play it safe. Despite the initial gamble of sending Jake Fraser-McGurk to open, and seeing him depart early, 23-year-old Mitchell Owen proved that success in domestic leagues can absolutely translate to the global stage. Blasting a staggering 6 sixes in a rapid-fire half-century off just 27 deliveries, Owen didn't just make a mark, he carved his initials into the record books. His electrifying 80-run partnership with Green, who muscled a quick-fire 51 off 26 balls, set the tone for Australia's onslaught, as the visitors collectively smashed 17 sixes, a dominant display outshining the hosts' 9. Now, here's a fact that might surprise you: only 2 other Australians before Owen have managed to hit a half-century on their T20 debut, none other than Ricky Ponting and David Warner. That's some rare air to breathe. Owen's milestone was even more special with his parents and partner cheering from the Jamaican stands, after receiving his coveted Australian cap from teammate Nathan Ellis of the Hobart Hurricanes. Reflecting on his achievement, Owen shared a simple yet powerful approach: "I've just tried to play positive cricket these past 9 months, backing myself to take on bowlers from the very first ball. My plan? Go for a 6 straight away, then build my innings from there." And this is the part most people miss. For all the talk about him batting out of position, Owen actually started his Hurricanes journey in the very same spot before shifting up the order. Could Australia be prepping a similar move? For now, Owen's unique blend of aggressive power hitting and clever singles rotation adds a crucial string to Australia's bow, especially as the team tests combinations ahead of next year's T20 World Cup. With regulars like Travis Head and Matt Short unavailable, fresh players have a golden opportunity to make their case. And while the headlines focused on the batting, the bowling unit stepped up as well. Absent the usual pace trio of Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc, and Josh Hazlewood, Ben Dwarshuis and Nathan Ellis turned the tide after an early West Indies surge. The Caribbean side, buoyed by strong knocks from Roston Chase, 60 off 32, Shai Hope, 55 off 38, and Shimron Hetmeyer, 38 off 19, looked destined for a total around 220. But Dwarshuis's 4-36 and Ellis's tight spell, ably supported by Adam Zampa's ever-reliable bowling, slammed the brakes on the hosts. The West Indies went from a solid 2-159 in the 16th over to collapsing, losing 6 wickets for just 40 runs, and a shocking 4 wickets for only 6 runs in the last 2 overs. Crucially, Australia's fielding was sharp and disciplined, with Glenn Maxwell holding 3 catches and Green adding 2 spectacular grabs. But here's the point that could divide fans: the West Indies' hopes crumbled with a dropped catch by substitute fielder Jewel Andrew, who missed a straightforward chance from Sean Abbott with only 7 runs needed. Was that the real turning point, or did Australia's ruthlessness deserve all the credit? Owen and his teammates showed not only more power but also greater composure, a combination that's sure to ignite debates among cricket lovers worldwide. Do you agree that Owen belongs in the same league as Ponting and Warner already? Or do you think it's too early for such comparisons? Should debutants be allowed the freedom to play this audaciously, or does it risk undermining team plans? Chime in below with your thoughts. Let's hear the arguments and the counterpoints. Mitchell Owen and Cameron Green lead Australia to T20 win over West Indies. Cricket highlights. Shock, awe, and record-breaking debuts. Cricket fans couldn't have asked for a wilder start as Australia pulled ahead 1-0 in the series. Mitchell Owen, on his very first T20 international appearance, didn't just impress, he stomped onto the scene with both bat and ball, while Cameron Green delivered a dazzling half-century that left the West Indies reeling. But here's where it gets controversial: should debutants really be making this kind of immediate impact, or is Australia just that strong? Let's dive into how this thrilling match unfolded and why people are still debating some key decisions. Australia were set a stiff target of 190, with the final score at 190 for 7, Green 51, Owen 50, Modi 2-29, Holder 2-32, Joseph 2-39, squeezing past West Indies, Chase 60, Hope 55, Dwarshuis 4-36, by just 3 wickets. It was a roller coaster display at Sabina Park, one that saw both teams fighting until the very end. Making history. From the outset, Mitchell Owen proved why selectors sometimes trust bold new talent. With the ball, he took a crucial wicket early on, setting the stage for Australia's fightback. Then, with a fearless 50 off 27 balls, including 6 towering sixes, Owen joined the elite company of Ricky Ponting and David Warner as only the 3rd Australian to score a half-century on T20I debut. It's hard to understate the pressure of debuting at this level. Imagine being thrown into the spotlight and coming out as player of the match for your very first game. Cameron Green, ever the reliable presence, wasn't content to sit back. Blasting 51 from just 26 balls, featuring 5 sixes and a pair of boundaries, Green teamed up with Owen to rescue Australia from a perilous 78 for 4. Their partnership of 80 runs from just 40 deliveries was nothing short of heroic, swinging momentum decisively Australia's way. As a result, Australia outstruck the West Indies, clearing the boundary 17 times compared to the opposition's 9. Dominance under threat, the West Indies innings. Before the Aussie charge, Ben Dwarshuis gave a death bowling masterclass. With 4 wickets for just 36 runs, with 3 wickets coming in a single over, he and Nathan Ellis choked off West Indies' late onslaught. After constructive half-centuries from Roston Chase, 60 off 32, and Shai Hope, 55 off 39, plus a dangerous cameo from Shimron Hetmyer, 38 from 19, the West Indies looked poised for a gigantic total at 123 for 1 in the 13th over. But this is the part most people miss: cricket matches aren't always won in the opening skirmish, they're seized in the final moments. West Indies' lower order collapsed spectacularly, managing only 11 runs between them and losing 6 wickets for 30 in the final 5 overs, limiting the total to 189 for 8. A platform built, then squandered. Things started brightly for the West Indies as their makeshift top 3, missing injured Evan Lewis, adapted quickly. Brandon King adjusted seamlessly to the T20 format, hammering boundaries early. But spin, courtesy of Cooper Connolly, slowed things down, and King was the first to fall. Hope picked up the torch, showing flair by lofting Connolly over cover and maintaining the momentum. Roston Chase, after a tentative start, unleashed a series of stylish strokes after the power play. He mixed clever paddle scoops with powerful shots to keep the scoreboard moving, helping the West Indies look set for a 200-plus total, until Dwarshuis and Ellis flipped the script. Late collapse, a case study in pressure. Chase's departure, caught trying to clear long on, signaled the beginning of the end for the West Indies. Owen made his bowling contribution felt, dismissing Hope with a clever change of pace, even if he was also hit for a couple of sixes by Hetmyer. But the real clincher? The combined brilliance of Ellis and Dwarshuis in the final overs. Dwarshuis' 19th over yielded 3 wickets for just a single run, while Ellis closed out the innings with some help from Green, who pulled off a stunning catch on the boundary that arguably only he could make. Selectors gamble with Fraser McGurk, do you agree? Australia's decision to include Jake Fraser McGurk over others, especially after Josh Inglis was shuffled into the keeper role, raised quite a few eyebrows. Starting as an opener in place of the injured Matt Short, Fraser McGurk was dismissed for just 2 off 7 balls. Is he really the answer at the top, or just a placeholder until the mainstays return? Here's a spicy debate for the comments section. Marsh goes big, Green steadies. Mitchell Marsh approached his innings like a man who only wanted sixes or dot balls. He managed 3 massive hits but was soon undone by Alzarri Joseph's pace. Green, meanwhile, survived a near miss, a top edge that sailed for 6, took a blow to the shoulder, then counterattacked with a pair of sixes, ensuring Australia finished the power play with a fighting chance. Australia's innings seemed to teeter as Josh Inglis and Glenn Maxwell fell in quick succession, Maxwell, in particular, struggling to a scratchy 11 off 10 balls. The heroic stand, Green and Owen turned the tide. With Australia in a sticky situation, Green and Owen's partnership was a turning point. For players with little experience handling the pressure of a run chase from the middle order, they showed remarkable control and power. Owen, unfazed, hit his first ball for 6 off Andre Russell, then added another in the same over. Not satisfied, he took apart Akil Hossein's spin, hitting 3 sixes in 1 over, a perfect answer to any who doubted his ability in the middle overs. At the other end, Green was methodical, running quick 2s to rotate the strike before attacking the bowlers again to bring up his half-century in just 25 balls. Suddenly, the target was whittled down to just 32 runs required from 31 balls, a situation that seemed unthinkable an hour earlier. But cricket's never predictable. Green fell aiming for another big shot, and then Owen was out the next ball, still leaving 15 runs needed from 21 balls. The match teetered on the edge yet again. Cooper Connolly, Ben Dwarshuis, and Sean Abbott chipped away at the total. There were nerves. Abbott was dropped at fine leg with only 7 required, and a near run-out almost sent Australia packing, but the visitors.